Hello, Shill Shack. This is Steve speaking. We are the largest seller of integrity in America. How can I help you? Okay. And we do have them. Did you just the GPUs or also the C? All of them. Okay, let me check. Hang on one second. Okay, yes, sir. I think we can do something for you. It does. It does smell like leather, actually, now that you mention it. Okay, I'll be right on that. Give me about 15 minutes. There's a lot of them, like a whole lot of them back there. Almost, maybe more than yours. Give me a few minutes. It's done. Yes, Miss Sue, we did get your order. Yes, both dollars were just fine, thank you. They were very, very uncrinkled. Okay, Domino's, not the pizza. Hello, I'm not sure if you can see me behind the equal distribution of NVIDIA and AMD product. Presently, there's a lot of AMD products in front of me. There are also a lot of them on that table, and previously they were on this shelf, but, well, you know. So anyway, we're here today. I've spent the last 4 hours setting up these stupid shots between 12 and 4 a.m. after working on a server with Wendell from Level 1 Text, mind you. He'll be in our video soon. And he did not pay to be in them. Pretty cool, huh? So anyway, we're here because there's a post online about shilling. It's a seasonal topic. We try, it's almost like Christmas at this point, where shilling as a seasonal topic, it's starting to sort of consume all of the other seasonal topics around it. And it's just not really supposed to talk about this until later in the year, but it's hot right now, so we got to get in on it and really get those views while they're here, while everyone's ready and on the topic. So here's the thing. Basically, quick recap. If you didn't know, boxes apparently are now a sign that a company has paid to be in the background of a set. I'm not kidding. If you're not caught up on the news, the current controversy, you can't really see me behind all of this AMD stuff that came off the set shelf, can you? The current controversy is that basically YouTubers, some people refer to themselves as influencers, reviewers, media, whatever, are allegedly, source anonymous, citation needed, being paid to put NVIDIA boxes on their shelves. And that's the gimmick I just did. My picture, my face, was with all of the hair. Yes, I know, it's tragic. Shouldn't really drag that into it, but you had to do it, and now it's personal. So my face and its hair, which is sentient, mind you, were both posted in a TechPowerUp article. I will briefly talk about that today. They have resolved the issues. We've spoken privately, more on that later. But it was on a TechPowerUp article that was basically insinuating corruption among YouTubers, specifically with NVIDIA. And it wasn't even a TechPowerUp source. So TechPowerUp sourced this from an anonymous Reddit post. I'm not going to dignify it by going through everything. It's really not worth it. It's all just stupid, which is the point of absurdity in a time like this. And here's what blew up online. So the thing was, NVIDIA boxes mean that NVIDIA is allegedly paying to be there. I can tell you that is, first of all, false, for us in the very least. But that was the controversy. It actually, you might think, that sounds really stupid. I thought that too. In fact, the first time I saw a video talking about this, Steve from Hardware Unboxed sent me a video, and he said, hey, jump to this timestamp. There's a box behind Paul in the background, and you can see like a couple pixels of green. It's depth of field. He does all the fancy bokeh, and you can't really see the box. And the guy talking is talking about how this is potentially because NVIDIA is paid to be there. You can literally see 2 pixels. So that's kind of the state of where we are with this story. You can see some green and some black, and the AMD card was in front, and it's a 5700 review, and Steve's got I don't know, 9 5700 XTs on the table, and there's a couple NVIDIA things on the background shelf that haven't moved in over a year, and we're in the same spot when Gamers Nexus was at my house. So that means that NVIDIA has influenced everything. So let's go over this. First of all, how does it work at Gamers Nexus? I am happy to report to you, no one pays to be on this shelf. In fact, they would probably rather pay to not be on that shelf because it is a shelf of garbage. This shelf, the way this works, didn't know this, is some behind the scenes information for you. You normally only get this on Patreon. This shelf is comprised of things, well, not right now, but it was before, like, you guys made me ruin it for hyperbolic point. It was comprised of things that we literally didn't know what to do with. Except for the Yeston card box. I really like that box and that card, and that's gonna stay there forever. I don't care what Jensen says. So, example, Nintendo Switch cooling fan that we bought in Shenzhen SEG Market. A half-full can of glass cleaner. Very useful for cleaning glass, among other surfaces that are impervious. We also have an Alpha Cool stress ball, an Intel Hades Canyon NUC enclosure from the former Danger Den guys. We have an Intel Hades Canyon NUC with a cracked HBM die. We have a Ship 2 Gamers Nexus box, I think from Asus. We have a Ryzen box that's now behind those ones that were part of the joke. 2 stuffed fake cats that were not ever living, to be very clear, from our Patreon backers. The H500P that I trashed literally, and a plant with Charmander on it. Oh, also some Chimera screws from iWayPower from CES circa 2013. I didn't know what to do with them. And so this is our set shelf. The process for going on the shelf, there's a few things you need to qualify for. One of them is it has no other place in the office. The other one is it's probably empty trash made of cardboard. And, or it's a blank PCB that's genuinely really damn cool, like this blank X399 motherboard PCB, the AMD reference card PCB, the NVIDIA old GPU that I got from Howard at NVIDIA years and years ago. We have an Intel, what were those things called? Fidget spinner that a fan sent us, and a blank PCBs, some really cool, genuinely awesome stuff on here. A bug that's made out of recycled electronics, because that's cool. So the criteria for being on the shelf is kind of cool. Feels bad to throw away because you paid $3,000 for the card that was in the box, and so you're keeping the box. So that's the criteria. Now let's go over this. Here's a few quotes for you. So TechPowerUp took the story of everybody's paid to put NVIDIA boxes and belittle AMD's tiny 5700 XT and Ryzen products that have gotten literally non-stop coverage for 4 months. We're all belittling it to put an NVIDIA cardboard box in the background because non-stop coverage. So anyway, here's TechPowerUp took this stupid story and amplified it. And here's what TechPowerUp said. TechPowerUp said, quote, and this is the original article, they have since redacted quite a few things and amended others. TechPowerUp originally said, this is what pissed me off, originally said, quote, NVIDIA is influencing YouTube-based influencers and journalists to minimize the impact of Navi by dictating product placements and telling them which cards not to compare 5700 series cards with theirs. In parentheses, jump forward a bit, fast forward to 2019, and we see NVIDIA back to a different kind of questionable practice, influencing the influencers by monopolizing in their purportedly unbiased YouTube-based content. couple things here. This is very bad reporting, like utterly shameful. BuzzFeed would do a better job than this. And TechPowerUp's writer of this story has expressed as such to me. He has apologized to me, but it doesn't matter. This is shameful reporting because it is taking a rumor from an anonymous source on Reddit. Instead of saying things like allegedly, or there's a rumor, or an unqualified guy whose credentials we have not validated, or a guy we haven't reached out to speak with, but posted on Reddit and it sounded kind of hot, so we thought we'd run with it. Instead of saying something like that, they said NVIDIA is influencing blah, blah, blah. And they said NVIDIA is back to a different kind of questionable practice. Those are very definite statements. After all of this, TechPowerUp said, here's an example of what's being alleged by the whistleblower. And it was a picture of me in this set before I destroyed it for this stupid video. And further goes on to say, in the example above of a popular YouTube-based journalist who we follow and revere, wow, thanks, you'll notice a row of NVIDIA RTX boxes within field of view of a row of Radeon 5700 series graphics cards. Whenever the viewer's attention turns to the table and what's on it, the bright green NVIDIA boxes remain in the central or peripheral vision. In this particular piece of content, the YouTuber is only comparing 5700 series cards, and the content has nothing to do with NVIDIA. Product placements are one of the revenue sources for the YouTube-based visual media. In the example above, you won't just find NVIDIA boxes, but also a Ryzen Threadripper near the presenter's head. So when the viewer makes eye contact with the presenter, the Threadripper carton is in your field of view. Couple of things here. First of all, using me as an example is not flattering in this instance. And secondly, relating to something in the background not being related to the thing that's in the video, like a 5700 XT or whatever it may be, I'll remind you that also not only are the NVIDIA cards not related to the 5700 XT, except actually they are because they're both video cards, but I don't know, cats, bamboo, Charmander, a Nintendo Switch cooling fan, and glass cleaner aren't related to a 5700 XT either. If you actually spend all of your time replacing all of this and all of this and all of this with only the thing you're talking about, who's going to look like the shill in that instance? Going to then provide a Victorian-style description of my set, you're not like the DM. This isn't Dungeons and Dragons. I feel like I need to be like, roll a d6 to, I guess it'd be a d20, wouldn't it? I mostly played 3.5. Sorry. Roll a d20 to do a perception check on bullshit. It's not in a literal sense saying, it's not saying Gamers Nexus is doing product placement, which we don't, by the way. It's not saying that we are intentionally putting RTX boxes in. Also, those are GTX boxes, except for two of them. It's not saying we're putting RTX boxes in to distract from AMD. Like, it's not literally saying we're doing that. It doesn't have our name there, but it says the YouTuber. To address the issue of product placement, we don't actually do product placement ever, at all. And does this look okay? No, I agree. We don't do product placement, period. It's not a thing that we sell. The way we make money, we are very happy to announce, as we've done before, that about 50% of our revenue comes from the store. So store.gamersnexus.net, the mod mat that you can't see on the table right now because it's covered in AMD stuff. The mod mat, for example, the toolkit, the shirts to a significant degree when it's things like these limited designs. We just shipped, by the way. So stuff like this, we work really hard on it. I really enjoy it. And that makes us about half of our revenue for the company. I don't need to do product placement. And also, there's no real point because it's not why I'm here. I'm here because I enjoy the challenge of getting text from marketing and going, where can I poke all of the holes in this and make a cool content piece out of it? That's what I find fun. All right, so that's I really wanted to point all this out. This whole thing's so ridiculous and comical and absurd. It was funny. And didn't really know how to approach it in a super serious way because think about it. They're saying, so the picture that was in that TechPowerUp article, they've apologized, they redacted that because I made it very clear that, hey, it's not okay to put my name next to something associated with, corruption. That's kind of not cool because we work incredibly hard to build a reputation. I wouldn't invest 40 hours testing something like a $300 CPU that I could buy for cheaper than my time expense to review. I wouldn't spend my time testing it and producing a review if I were just gonna take money to say something, then I would just say the other thing's good. Why would we spend the time doing all the other stuff? I could go outside if I actually did that. Do you know how many Wan video cards I could buy from China? The problem, ultimately, is one I'm very disappointed about, which is, so I was disappointed in the TechPowerUp reporting, but I did get in contact with TechPowerUp. I don't know that I don't forgive them. I do accept the apology, but, and they did sincerely apologize. They're like, we're better than this, and okay, cool. But what I'm disappointed about, and there's not a lot of these people, but what I'm disappointed about is the people that we see in comment sections who, I'm not even gonna dignify showing them either, but who in all seriousness will post comments like, wow, Steve, I didn't know they got to you too. There's NVIDIA boxes on your set. And the thing that frustrates me, it's not the accusation against me. I'm frustrated that the human race is doomed. And that's because if someone has the critical thinking ability to watch a video, perhaps even on this Canon cat, it's actually not possible, to watch a video, be fed information about some tinfoil hat conspiracy theory of the absurdity that this is, and then go other places with that information and just spit it into the comments without ever going, there's also a lot of AMD boxes, so maybe, no, definitely NVIDIA shills. Like that's honestly, that's the frustrating. Again, it's not the personal aspect. I don't really get too bothered by that anymore, the shill thing. It's genuinely like the greater human race thing of people who don't have the critical thinking ability beyond what perhaps, I was gonna say an ant could do, but ants are actually really, in a way, intelligent because they're a hive mind, which Reddit kind of pretends to be, but does a really bad job. Then there's really cool super colonies where ants, especially a specific ant from South America, has spread all over the world and built different colonies. Not quite the critical thinking abilities of an ant to not think further than what's being fed. It's terrifying because it's like, wow, outside of our little tech sphere, what is this person actually doing? Like, what's happening in the rest of the world? What do they do on a daily basis? Who is hurt by it? Anyway, let's cap it up with this. So first of all, the original rumor, we were not going to talk about it at all because there's nothing to substantiate it until TechPowerUp blew it up and put my face on it. They said a popular YouTuber had my picture and then talk about product placement, which we don't even do. The ways we make money, you go to the store.gamersnexus.net, you buy cool functional products that we invest often a year of development into, like the mod mat, or like the toolkit, or even just easier stuff like these shirts, which are still not that easy. So that's a great way. It's like half of our revenue when combined with some other small things that we do that aren't advertising. Patreon's another great way. And I'm not saying these things to drive people to those platforms, but to illustrate that from an advertising standpoint. And you have to remember there's affiliate commission there too, which comes from Amazon. And when you're reading or watching one of our reviews of two different opposing cars from different vendors, I don't care which one you buy. I don't care if you buy neither of them. And if you buy one of them, cool. I might get a commission from Amazon, and it doesn't particularly matter to me which one it is. And if you don't, then I'm even happier because one of my biggest personal things I fight for is not destroying the planet with stupid bullshit consumer products that are going to be replaced in a year anyway. So frankly, if you buy nothing after watching our review, that's the happiest I can be, because then when you're on this cycle of replacing a phone or a video card every year, it just becomes wasteful. And our approach is to stretch everything out as long as humanly possible, which is why, and I will bring this back to me because people are gonna be like, you're a hypocrite, you make products too, which is why for things like the mod mat and the toolkit, not to plug them, but we make them so that they last basically forever. We work hard to get to where we are. I found it offensive to be attached to that article. It has been corrected. TechPowerUp sort of apologized publicly and apologized very directly and profusely privately, and I appreciate that. I will say that Wizard from TechPowerUp, who programs GPU-Z, has built some of the best software I've ever used. That doesn't excuse them from this, which is something that a writer for the site did. But what I'm trying to say is they're not like wholly evil, and I don't think this was necessarily, I think it was just poorly executed, and there's too much desire for trying to get the traffic, and sometimes it doesn't really play out that well against logic and thinking and walking through the steps of, okay, I published this, what are the circumstances of what I'm doing? What is the outcome of what I'm going to do? Who is affected by what I'm doing? Basic things in journalism. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. A bit rambly, but I really wanted to just emphasize, you know, while we're on the topic, how do we make money? That's how. We do ads, we never do product placement. We never do sponsored content, which would be like a whole video brought to you by a brand. We do a basic like 30-second ad in the beginning. It's disclosed, it's in the description. You've seen it before. And they're picked randomly for the video based on what we have and kind of our pool of ads to run. And then the rest is store stuff. And that's gonna be it. So there's your recap with some humor mixed in. It was fun. I thought it was absurd. I'd prefer not to do this again, but it was amusing. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Please check back for the videos with Wendell. Again, I really did try to pay him to just sort of stand here the whole time, but he said, I have to sleep because in 6 hours we need to finish building your server and we need to do a video with the Epic server with 128 cores. So that's some of the stuff you can look forward to. I'm gonna get out of here. Actually, I have to edit this and then I'll get out of here. Actually, I won't. I'll sleep on the couch and then we'll do the rest of the videos with Wendell tomorrow. Subscribe for more. Go to store.gamersnexus.net to help us out directly. Patreon.com/gamersnexus helps out there. I say that at the end of every video. If you're like, he's trying to use this to sell stuff, it's literally at the end of all of them. I'll see you all next time.